Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with a set of these bamboo rings from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use them both. I'm not going to paint them. I'm going to go straight in with some of this Fabric Tech fabric glue. It works great on this bamboo, and also some jute twine. So I'll add a nice line of glue on each side of this circle, and I'll just start wrapping the jute twine around until I felt like it was enough. I really didn't count it. Now I'm just going to put these clips on here just to help keep everything in place while the glue dries, and then I'll continue to add some more jute twine by adding a couple more beads of glue, and I'll just continue to wrap it until I'm happy with it, until it looks like this. And I am using the better quality jute twine from Dollar Tree, but it still had a few fuzzies, so you know I can't help myself. Gotta go for the fuzzies with my lighter. So I went ahead and did this to both until I was happy with it. And I like the color, I like the smell. I'm addicted. So here they are, ready to go. So now I'm going to take another piece of jute twine and I'm going to cinch it in the center and tie a good, strong, secure double knot. Snip off the excess jute twine, and I do this to both. And now I'm going to go in with a few florals. I'm going to use this Farmhouse wax flower bush in the green, this greenery just called foliage, and these daisies in the green as well. And now I'm going to evenly separate these florals for both of these rings. Now I'm going to take one and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to use these strands to kind of weave the floral picks, the stems, in there. That way they stay, that way they're secure. So just weaving it like this. I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but you'll see that they'll stay. They won't fall through, they won't move at all. Just like this. Get them all done, and then any excess pieces, just snip them off in this manner. Now I'm ready to take a piece of jute twine and a loop and create a little hanger for each. This is a super simple one. And then I had these 2 bows that I made for another project. I didn't use them, so I'm going to go ahead and tie them to the back. Tie it really tight in another double knot. Snip off the excess. The second one, I realized that the bow was much bigger, so I couldn't use it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I made this bow. And I'm just taking some of the burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, snipping off a good piece, holding it with my clips, my craft clips, creating a tail, snipping that off, kind of folding it in a V, putting them together, clip them together, and I go ahead and dovetail the ends in this manner. And then I go ahead and get another piece of jute twine and tying it all in the center like this, tying it real tight. Now here I realized that my jute twine was too small, too short, so I'm having to get another piece of jute twine, a little longer this time, and tie it again, tie it really tight, and now removing the jute twine that was too short. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Kind of lost it. Here it is. So I went ahead and removed that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie this to this ring here, the smaller ring, and tying that in place, a good double knot, snipping off the excess as well. And now it's looking great. Just go ahead and fluff up all the bows, and this burlap ribbon is really great for fluffing up bows. Really gives it a nice high-end look, and it'll stay in place. So I don't add anything to the center because I think this looks great. This is how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. This video is a part of a Farmhouse collab, and C from CJ DIY got us all together to participate. So that means there'll be a playlist. So be sure to check that out after you watch my video. It'll be pinned in my comments and also in my description box as well. For DIY number 2, I'm going to use one of these arch windows from the Dollar Tree. This one says welcome. I'm going to remove the label and sand off any sticky residue. I'm going to go in with some of this Waverly chalk paint and the color plaster, and using my chunky chippy brush, I'm going to dry brush some of this plaster paint all over this arch window on the front and the back. Set this aside. Now I'm going to take one of these palettes, these decor palettes, and they are pretty thick. They're very nice. So I'm going to remove the jute twine and the staples, and I'm going to go in with 2 coats of this plaster paint like this. Now I'm going to take some of the Waverly antique wax, and using my chunky chibi brush, I'm just going to do a distressing and do the front and the back again. So just like this, and I'll just keep distressing it until I like it. And I also do a little bit of distressing on the arch window as well, just to make everything nice and cohesive. And now using some of my super glue wood glue, I'm going to add a nice bead onto the bottom of this arch window to adhere these 2 pieces together. And I'll place my arch window in this position, and using the larger craft clamps, I'm going to use them to secure these 2 pieces together until all my glue dries and cures. So now here it is, nice and dry and cured, and I'm going to take some of this green garland, and now you're going to see my thought process, just how undecisive I can be sometimes. So originally I was thinking I was going to create a nice wreath to go around this, what's going to be a lantern, and I wanted to make it large enough to hold 3 candles, 3 pillar candles, because this piece it would hold 3 pillar candles, and the base, like I said, is pretty good quality, and it would hold it, definitely hold it. So here I'm removing all these pieces. I decided to go ahead and kind of join them together, which they do. They actually join together, and I'll show you right here how they do that. I'll show you up close. See, they kind of join together like that. That's pretty cool. So here, like I mentioned, I was going to make a wreath, and then I decided to make a couple to kind of stack them together. But like I mentioned, I was so indecisive, and this is the reason why I usually don't show how I do my florals, because it just takes me forever. It's horrible. I'm just too picky, I guess. So here I went ahead and doubled them up, and I didn't like it. And then I thought, well, I have these random little pieces. Let me just take these, snip the ends off, and kind of put them through the window in this manner. Kind of weave them in there. So I kind of like that idea. So I went ahead and did that, and I did that to 2. I joined them together in this manner, and then I went ahead and weaved it up, and I snipped off an excess piece, and then I just took a dab of glue and secured it in place like this. And I like this part, so I went ahead and doubled that part to the other side, kind of mirrored it. So I joined 2 together, snipped off the same kind of piece that I snipped off earlier in this manner, and then kind of weaved that up into the arch window and secured it in place on the other side, like this. So I was kind of liking that. And then I just turned it around to add another little dab of glue on both of these pieces. That way they'll stay in place and be nice and secure. Now these I wasn't really crazy about. It was still bothering me. So I placed 1 candle in the middle, and then I realized, no, let me just do 1 candle. So I went ahead and broke these down and made my little wreaths a little smaller. And then that was finally it. That was finally what I thought that I was going to do, and I just left it like that, and I was happy enough with it. And this is why I usually do my florals off camera. Okay, so now I'm taking some more of these excess pieces that I still had, and I just decided to add some more, as if these vines are just growing out the window. So I'm just intertwining them and just weaving them and adding some here and some there until I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to take some of this lacy ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to create a cute, quick little bow. And this is going to go in the center of the arch window, right below the welcome sign. So I'm just going to adhere this with a little bit of hot glue, and then that is it. Super cute. Now I'm happy with it. And this is how it looks. And a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I'm going to use one of these hanging holders. It's a galvanized metal, I guess a pot, flower pot. And I'm going to go in with the Fabric Tech fabric glue, putting a nice bead of glue on one side and another bead on the other. And if you're guessing, I'm grabbing the jute twine. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, yes, yes. I'm just going to wrap this around along the whole bottom. Well, nearly the whole bottom. Again, until I'm happy with it. And I'm just going to add another little dab of the fabric tech glue and placing the excess jute twine on there, kind of pressing it in there, snipping off the excess, and that holds it perfectly. It's great. And now, if you're guessing I'm going to burn off the fuzzies, you're right again. As a crafter, it's one of the things I live for. I do. I love to burn the fuzzies off jute twine. So I went ahead and go all the way around until I'm happy with it. And I'm going to snip off this little piece. I don't know what that was. And I'm going to add the giant bow that I had earlier that was too large for my hoops in DIY number 1. And here I'm just going to add some fabric tech glue and place my bow in the center of the can, placing a craft clip to hold it in place, fluffing up the bow. And now I'm going to take some of this decor, garland, greenery, and placing a piece of styrofoam in the center inside the can, snipping off all these pieces. And I used some of this spike and some of this Dollar Tree eucalyptus. And I didn't film all this because, again, it takes me forever. And I added a burlap flower. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 4, I had these long spindles from a broken bar stool. And I'm going to take some of this lightweight spackle, fill in the holes, as well as these round wood decors. And I show 3, but I actually use 6. So now I'm just going to take some of my wood glue. This is the Elmer's wood glue, giving a nice generous amount, placing these on the wood rounds till I get them centered, allowing these to dry more than overnight. I believe it was almost 2 days. Now here it is, nice and dry. And all I'm going to do is add some of these half wood beads with some wood glue and some of this plaster chalk paint until they look like this. And oh my goodness, I just love these. They are so tall. One is 16 inches, one is 19 inches, and the last one is 21 inches. So now here I'm not liking some of these gaps, so I'm going to go back in with some more of the spackle and finish that up. And I'm just going to do with my finger and kind of press it in there until I'm happy with it. And once it dries and sets, then I'll go in with my finger sander and get everything nice and smooth like this. Now I'll go ahead and do another coat of the Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. Now I'll go in with some of the antique wax by Waverly and distress these pieces until I'm happy with it. Everything is until I'm happy with it. And here's how they look. Look at that. They are so cute. Okay, but we're not done yet. We're going to take some of this boxwood. This is the one from Walmart. Probably my favorite boxwood out there, I think. And I'm just going to snip off the ends. And I'm going to adhere these pieces together by using a little dab of hot glue and just joining them end to end. And I believe these mini wreaths took about 5 of these little sprigs, just joining them end to end with a little bit of hot glue. Now once I get them made, then I put them around the base of the candle holder, add another dab of glue, and placing them end to end. And what's great about using these chunky wood rounds is I can actually use these candle holders this way, or I can flip them over the other side. And here's how they look. And here they are in front of my fireplace, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 5, I'm going to use 2 of these wood planks, and I'm going to take one, leave it as is, and take the other one, and using my EMT shears, I'm just going to round off 2 of the corners. And it does take a little bit of strength, but if you have these kind of shears, it's possible. It works. I'm showing you right now. It definitely works. So here I just go ahead and round them off, and I'm going to take my finger sander to sand everything nice and smooth, get rid of all the little splinters that are there. Now once I'm happy with that, I'm going to get ready to stain them, but this method is a little bit messy, so I'm taking this old mailer from Amazon, and I'm going to take my water bottle and spray them really well with water And then I'm going to go in with my Waverly Antique Wax, just a little bit, and just brush this on with all the water. And for me, this is the perfect stain. Now go ahead and dry it with my heat gun because I don't have time to wait for this to dry. So here they are nice and dry. And I'm going to take one of these new cheese boards from the Dollar Tree. These are so nice. Remove the sticker and sand off any excess residue. And I'm going to lightly stain the back of this board just so it won't be so plain looking. It won't be a perfect stain, but it's just enough color that it won't look so raw. Now once it's nice and dry, I'm going to take the rectangular piece of plank and some of this super glue wood glue, do a nice thin bead of glue on one of the edges, and placing it straight on the back in this position. And it's not going to sit on its own, so I'm going to have to use some heavy bottles of paint. And I'll just place these and allow them to set overnight. Here it is, nice and set. And look, I made a little stand for the back. Now, with a rounded corner piece, I'm going to take another bead of glue, placing it on there, and placing this one in the front of this cheese board, like this. And I'll do the same thing. I'll place 2 heavy bottles on the other side to help hold this little shelf, and allow this to set overnight. Now here I'm making a little bit of a mess with glue, but I'm just going to take a baby wipe and remove the excess glue. Works great. Now here it is, nice and set. Next day, and look at that. So now here I just can't help myself. I saw fuzzies on this jute twine that was already there, so I had to get rid of it. Now here is a casserole book. Fits perfectly, freestanding. Here's how it looks in the closer look at the final reveal. And here it is with my cookbook. If you're on Instagram, I invite you to follow me on there. Here's my QR code, and I post on there Monday through Fridays, as well as TikTok. Here's my QR code for there. I do have a Pinterest. Here's my handle. And I do have a Facebook crafting group. I invite you to come out and say hello. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know which one is your favorite. Well, I'd like to take a moment and thank C from CJ DIY for getting us all together and participating in this fun collaboration, creating farmhouse DIYs. And don't forget to enjoy the playlist when you're done watching this video. And if you see shadows in the background in this final reveal, those are my kitty cats. They're just photobombing my video. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong. And have a great, great day. Bye-bye.